Hey guys and gals, let's take a look at the 2024 LEGO Holiday Catalog. We're going to take a look and see if we can find any hidden treasures in here. Now I've already reviewed a lot of the sets that are in this, so I'll be able to do some follow-up comments as well. And obviously you can tell here we have the Santa's Post Office. And the LEGO store. Be sure your order arrives on time. Yeah, we gotta make sure because sometimes the postage can get a little bit slow during the holidays. Oh, here we go. Here's the magic right here. And yeah, so here's the post office. And honestly, it's not a bad build. I know I've read some of your comments on this, and some of you say you can't fill the theme, it's not your style. You know, compared to the sets from the past, yes. And yeah, it's got a lot of medium to small pieces. It's still a nice set, just the price is a bit inflated for what you're getting. And here we got Santa's delivery truck. I like that. I wish that it gave that to me. But I do have the ornaments, and those are really cool. Santa sleigh. I don't have this. I built my own. The sleigh doesn't look bad, but the reindeers, I don't know. I don't know if they were trying too hard to connect these. It just looks too rigid. It's not really flexible enough for me. And those are for $39.99. I think the deers are $6 or $7 a piece. So it's worth to get the sleigh. Here we have a Christmas tree. That doesn't look too bad, but you know, I can build better than that. And then we have the table ornament. I did build this. It's nice. It's just a display piece. You really can't play with it. And the ornaments. I think I have these. I'm not really sure. They look pretty cool, and you can hang them on your Christmas tree. Advent calendars. Okay, I do have a few of these. And they're not bad, but they're pretty pricey for what you're getting. For something you can use only once. So you got to think about that when you get these calendars. They do have some nice accessory pieces, but for me, I'm not really into advent calendars, but they're nice to explore, and you can use some of the builds for your LEGO City or creations. And here we have the Bed and Breakfast Inn. I do have that. I know some of you said you're going to get this and expand on it. I really want to expand on this too. I just got to get this light nougat window color and some of these other pieces. Maybe we can make two of them, put them together to make a full house. It looks more like a Victorian house than a bed and breakfast, but yeah. We have, what is this one here? Horse and pony trailer. No, that doesn't look too exciting. Yeah, I'll skip the Friends. I know a lot of you guys and gals don't care much for Friends. I do, just because they have some good, unique parts. And we have Stitch. And this is Simba the Lion King Cub. The brick animals are pretty cool. I'm just not into those. And this is the Isabella's flower pot. Just the flower pot alone would be good for botanicals. Matter of fact, that's probably what this mostly is. It's just a botanical set. And yeah, we're looking at Lego Disney. Disney Princess Market Adventure. The only adventure I see out of that one is all the parts that I could use. Yeah, and I didn't request for Disney sets. It's just not really into the theme. They look cool, but you got some 4+ here. And the 4+, they just do still use small pieces, so keep that in mind. And we have Ariel's Music Stage and Ariel's Crystal Cavern. Oh, this one doesn't look too bad. I like the slide that comes with it. And I'm sorry if there's a little bit of a glare on here, you know. Alrighty, we have Harry Potter, I believe. What is this now? Brickheads. Embrace the Strange. I mean, no, this is Adam's family. Yeah, kind of dark and gloomy for me. And we have Wednesdays. Dorm room. That doesn't look too bad. So this opens up, apparently, and you got some drawers at the bottom. What's the price on that? $89 for 750 pieces. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. Hey, I'm pretty blunt on these. I'm not going to sugarcoat when I go through them. I'm looking at this, from a consumer's point of view, not for review purposes. And here's another display piece here. Elfanda and Glinda figures. I can't even pronounce those. No, we don't. I don't care about those. Glinda and Elfanda's dormitory. What's with all the dormitories? Is this college season or something? And no, I never lived in a dorm room. They were too expensive, and yeah. Oh, this one's all nice and green. Welcome to Emerald City. Oh, that looks cool. Imagine all those green pieces you could have for your collection there. Really nice. And that's only $100 for 945 pieces. Yeah, well, the price, I was thinking more of 70, but yeah, I wonder if that window piece is printed. That'd be good for get a couple of those. I doubt it's printed, but hopefully it is. Whoa, that light is blinding here. Let me make sure here. Get myself a little more situated. I know some people have asked me, these are not scripted well enough. These are not meant to be scripted. They're meant to be ad lib. It means I do them right off the top of my head. Glinda Elfa's University, I kind of figure this, the coral sailboat would be cool to have, but just more of a, just as an accessory piece than anything else. Hogwarts Castle Potions class. Pretty cool. I have a great niece who's heavy into Harry Potter. She might like that. And Hagrid's Hut. An unexpected visit. Ooh. Let's see here. Yeah, not bad for $75 for 896 pieces. Yeah. You get a, what is that there? Some kind of a dog or a sheep, I don't know. And I'm not really into Harry Potter. And Jay, yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't get into it, but it's cool to look at. The Burrow Collector's Edition. Ooh, isn't that cool? It's a collector's edition. You get some figures with it and some dilapidated house, but look at all that sand yellow you can grab off that and some of that brittle brown. I mean reddish brown, my bad. Be kind of cool to get some of those slopes for other builds. Star Wars. Okay, at least I know my Star Wars stuff. Now, I'm not into Star Wars, so just for me to sit there and say these are not a good value would be an understatement because I'm not into the theme. So we're just going to take a look here. And these are not too bad. Mostly display pieces, but, you know. Alrighty. I need to get a better lectern that keeps it like this. And Desert Skiff and Surfeit Pick. I can't even pronounce that. I've only had 4 hours of sleep, and yes, I do remember that in the movie. At least that's playable. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah. The tie interceptor. Huh. I'm not familiar with it. Oh, Lego Fortnite. You know, I have everything on this page here, so we could do follow-ups. Some of you told me the supply llama. Some of you say it's a loot llama. I'm going off of what Lego calls it. And we have Peelybone, the Battle Bus, and the Der Burger. And honestly, I know people getting this for the figures. You get 9 figures in total. The bus is pretty cool, but I see this being used and revamped as a regular school bus or maybe a public bus. But the rest of these, this was not fun to put together now since I've looked at it. It's just a display piece. This one here is kind of playable, but this one here just sits on a shelf. I mean, the game's fun to play. Yes, I do play Lego Fortnite. I like to build stuff, but that's it. And the Lego stuff, you know. And then here we got Minecraft. I have this. This wasn't too bad. No stickers, no stickers, no stickers, no stickers. I have all these. Not bad builds, but Minecraft sets have gotten to be the same old thing. You get lots of basic bricks, lots of good colors for terrains, except for the Ender Dragon and End City ship. They're just the same old Minecraft builds. Some of them are brittle, they will fall apart. LEGO has not changed those one bit, but there's only so much they can do. And then we have the LEGO Animal Crossing. Let me make sure that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I don't own these or any of these. I have a polybag. I know a few people who do, and these really look fun. Let's take a look here. We have Isabella's House Visit. That's $40 for 389 pieces. That's about a little on the high end, but I think people are getting these for the figures, and of course you can swap out the pieces if you want. And then we have Nook and Cranny's Rosie's House. Not too bad. And then we have Fly with Dodo Airlines. Dodo. That reminds me of that movie, Follow That Bird with the Dodos, and they were on the airplane. Yeah. Follow That Bird, it was like a Sesame Street movie where everybody was Big Bird was trying to, he wanted to go live with the family, like with the bird family. It's been years since I've seen it, and then he decided it wasn't for him, and he wanted to go back to Sesame Street. Actually, matter of fact, I need to bring back more Sesame Street sets. Would be cool. Concert in the Plaza. That one doesn't look too bad. The vehicle looks okay. But the figures look pretty cool. So if you're into Animal Crossing, there you go. Okay. All right. Ready for trash talking. I know some of you like these sets. Most of us don't like them because there's no minifigures. I have yet to even see one of these in person. And I've done reviews on these, and they're flat out zeros, ones, and twos. They're not good builds. They're very flimsy. They fall apart. And yeah, we're still waiting for LEGO. I know LEGO, you're watching this. Please bring out Super Mario minifigures. I'll literally go out and buy those sets if you do, because this stuff here is not appealing. I don't know what you're thinking at the time, but even for someone like myself who grew up with Super Mario, this just wasn't cutting it. Not for me as an adult anyways. Alright, then we have Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi. Yoshi, I always say Yoshi. And this doesn't look too bad. It's a display piece. Looks like it functions, which is pretty cool. And yeah, for the most part, it's just meant to sit on a shelf. For $130 for, what is that, 1,215 pieces? It's a bit steep for a non-playable model. It's functional, but it's not really, I could put that in my city. Not really my thing. Here's one I wish LEGO would have sent me for a review, because this looks very interesting, very complicated, and this is the Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 special thing. And of course you get all your minifigures, and people are going to be after Link and Zelda and all that stuff. A lot of us want the figures. I do too, because I grew up playing Legend of Zelda back in the 80s and 90s. The tree, I can say, no, I don't care about this. I just want the figures. So if they made a figure pack, so be it. But I have a feeling these figures are going to be very pricey. Trying to find those a la carte. And here's the Halloween barn. I think that's the only Halloween set they have in here. I put that together. It was okay. It just, you know, $15. You're not really getting something playable. I remember one of you had commented and said you're going to expand on this. That'd be kind of cool to see. Make it bigger, make it creepier. And of course, you can be a LEGO Insider, that kind of thing. We got the Speed Champions. Not really into these, but you're getting good builds. I have a few of them from the past. These cars are really good to build. You're talking very detailed builds. So if you're into those, yeah, you're going to be in for a treat. I'm not really into them, but you are getting good builds. Then we have Technic. And Technic and myself don't get along very well. You know, I could just tip it like this here. And so, for example, we have the Hack LR Electric garbage truck and the Team New Zealand AC-75 yachts and the Volvo truck. I must be doing a thing with Volvo. That's all I've seen half of these in here. Alright, and then we have Lego's Marvel. Not really much into Marvel stuff, but they do have some good figures. But if I'm not into it, I cannot judge these sets. Although this one here is catching my eye, and that's the Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron. $99 for 613 bricks. I think it's mostly due to the... Do I dare say it? The Hulk from the 70s, from that 70s TV show. I remember watching reruns of the Hulk. And yeah, I'm trying to keep the glare off this. I got to think of a better way to do these. Okay, Lego icons. First off, we have stuff for botanicals and stuff. I know there's a lot of people who are not interested in these. At first, I was not interested in them. Once I got a few of these sets, they're fun to put together, but they can be repetitious. I don't have these two, but these look pretty cool because you got the vase and the stand with them. So this is the Plum Blossom and the Chrysanthemum. Not too bad. Of course, you got the Bouquet of Roses. I did do a review on this. It's very repetitive. But if you put this with your other botanical flowers and mix them into one big vase, it looks really good. And the thing about this one here, as well as the tiny plants, they're collaborative builds. They're group builds. You can build them with a partner or several partners, so you can do that. Great little afternoon project. The NASA Nemesis Space Launch System. Yeah, I mean, that's $259.99 for 3,601 bricks. I'm going to be honest with you on this one right here. If you're into space, it'd be pretty cool, but me, it looks boring. You know, we have the Disney stuff. Or, well, this one's Disney, but this one here is Jaws. We all remember that scene right there. And, yeah, I've seen Jaws a few times, but that movie never really gets old. So I think a lot of people are getting this for the figures. But this looks like more of a display piece, but I'm sure you could probably put this in your city. Just pop this stuff out. There you go. You could have a little fun there. And this one retails for $149.99, and it's got 1,497 pieces. I can't tell you the build quality because I don't have it. But yeah. Then we have the Magic of Disney. Wow, look at that. Okay, let's see. We have $99.99 for 1,103 bricks. Looks like we get some figures. That'd be good if you're making a Disney-themed amusement park or something, but it looks more like I'd say an expensive minifigure pack than anything else. Not really my cup of tea there. And then, of course, we have the back of the book with just a big piece of tape on it. And I know somebody in my family that wants the Disney... The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, it looks more like a Halloween set than a Christmas set. Maybe it could be both. So you could display it for both months. Maybe we'll have to include Thanksgiving into that one. But yeah, and to me, it's not really catching my eye. But that's $200 for roughly 2193 pieces. So it might be a good build experience. I don't know. And just looking through this, I saw some sets, maybe the Zelda set, that I might want to get. and maybe the Animal Crossing sets that look interesting. But other than that, everything else, I either have reviewed, and some sets were okay, but for me, like this thing here, I know some of you have pointed out, it just doesn't fit the theme. I have to agree, but I think, well, Lego is starting to run out of the Winter Village stuff. They need to bring out different types of buildings, but take the balloon off, it looks more just like a post office. Maybe this is an afterthought, I don't know. After building it and stuff. But there is some decent sets in here, but not a whole lot that catches my attention, especially as a mock builder, because I build my own stuff. If I want something, I'll build it myself, and I'll just order the pieces necessary to complete the build. So, if there's anything in here you like, there you go. And as a quick update, I'm starting to put together stuff for 2025, and yeah. And if you're on my YouTube channel memberships, you probably already have seen stuff for 2025. Matter of fact, that's all you can see out for the rest of the year is stuff for next year. And I've been dabbling with speed builds. So I'm going to see if I can sneak out a speed build and see what you guys and gals think of it. Basically, it's just like me here talking, but I'm going to be building and talking about the build. And I'm going to try to keep them about a minute long, so they're going to be really quick. Yeah, but tell me what you think of what's inside the 2024 Lego Holiday Catalog. To me, there's some stuff of interest. We'll see how that goes.